Well, g'day guys. Well, today we're installing a Renogy Battery Monitor into our Jayco Caravan. We're going to be doing an unboxing, seeing what you actually get in the kit. Then we'll move through a bit of a step-by-step process on how to install it and the considerations you need to take. Then finally at the end we'll do a bit of a review on my thoughts of it. I haven't actually unboxed it yet. I haven't even seen what's inside. So let's get into it.
Cool.
Alrighty, so let's take a look at what you actually get in the box. So let's open that up. Bit of packaging. Get a valid customer statement with that warranty. And looks like an instruction manual. So yep, gives you the dimensions. So obviously you got your LCD interface, your shunt holder, shunt, shielded wire, and your positive wire. And then it gives you some instructions on how to connect it up, and then if you're mounting the panel, the cutout size, and then the interface description here, so it shows you what's actually happening with the battery, charging, outputting, and all that sort of thing. So that's good. So 6 meters of shielded wire. So 6 meters is pretty bloody good. That's going to allow you to mount this head unit anywhere you want, really, in your van. So that's good. Here's the LCD display. So it's just a one solid color LCD, and it's rated to 500 amps, accuracy of plus or minus 1%, and voltage range between 10 and 120 volts. So that's pretty good. We've got a positive wire here. We've got some screws that must be to mount the shunt holder, and then we've got the shunt. So that all looks pretty good. So B side is battery side, and then P is the actual that's your load side. So that's where all your connections that you're going to make. That anything runs through 12 volt, that's what you want to monitor. That's where you're actually going to connect it up to. So rather than connecting it all to the battery, and then you've got a little connection block here, and that must be the positive for this red wire here. So yeah, all right. Well, let's get into it. All right, so one of the considerations you need to make when installing this battery monitor is where you're actually going to mount this LCD screen. Now for myself, it's pretty easy. I knew where I wanted to mount it, and that's going to be up here where these black dots are. I've already got a bit of stuff going on here, like my water tank gauges, my water pump, my hot water system controller, and a couple of other switches for some lights and fridges and stuff. So I'll be mounting that there. Just a matter of now going to cut that out now. Alright, so now we've marked the hole out. It's just a matter of drilling a couple of holes in here and then using the jigsaw. So when you're going to cut this out, just make sure that you sort of stick your hand up behind the wall if you can, like there's a little bit of a gap here, and just make sure that there's no cables behind there. All right, so just underneath the seat is where all the batteries are here in the Jayco Caravan. Now, what we need to do is find a place to mount this shunt, and essentially all what we need to do is take all these negative wires off the negative side of the battery here, and we need to put them on the P minus side of the shunt, and then connect the wire from the negative side of the battery over to the B minus side of the shunt. So we'll go through and start doing that now. Alright, so what I've done here is connect all the negative wires to the P minus side, and I've connected up this small short cable to the B minus side. So it's just a matter of just hooking this up now. Flip that around, lining that up, putting the bolt in. So all that's left to do now really is to hook up the wire, the positive wire, which goes into the little green plug down here. and then plug it in and then test it. All right, so I've gone ahead and connected the red wire just to the positive side of the battery over here. And then now all we have to do is just plug this wire in here, which then feeds the LCD screen. All right, so you're probably wondering about this surround that I've got on around the battery monitor. Now, the main reason why I put that in there is because when I was doing the jigsawing and cutting the hole out, it wasn't a clean cut. This paper veneer plywood that they use doesn't cut very clean at all, so I left quite a daggy edge. So this is just held on with a bit of double-sided tape just around the battery monitor and just tidies it up nicely. All right, so now it's plugged in. Let's have a look at the monitor. So this is, I've already gone through and set it up, but I'll walk you through what I've done. So let's start from the left-hand side here. So on the left-hand side, you've got a picture of a battery, and you've got 210 amp hours. Now that's showing the remaining capacity, and you can see those two little arrows there. That means that it's discharging. All right. So when there's solar or there's other charging inputs, those arrows will go the opposite direction and point to say that it's charging. And also the screen's also going to start like slowly flashing. It sort of caught me off guard a little bit because I didn't really know what that was. But yeah, in the instruction manual it says that the system is charging. Below that, you've got the current voltage, battery voltage, 12.9 volts, and a current discharge of negative 2.52 amps. So that's your, obviously, if you're got solar input and you're running a fridge and you're, so you're discharging the battery but you're charging at the same time, it's going to be the sum of basically your input minus your output, and that's what's going into the battery. So just keep that in mind. On the right hand side, you've got 100%. So obviously showing state of charge. Current time left, so 83 minutes and 5 seconds if we were to continue drawing at 2.52 amps, and that equals 32 watts. Now to go through the menu setup, you hold down the OK button for about 3 seconds. And this is where you go and put your capacity of your battery. So I'm running 205 amp hour batteries, and obviously times that by 2 is 210. You can set high voltage and low voltage thresholds effectively. So the 12.8 volts, that's its fully charged charging voltage of an AGM, so 12.8, and low voltage. So that's when you basically want to tell the system, you want the system to tell you when it's time to get some charge into the battery before you start damaging any cells. So I've set that at 11.5. Now that's the loaded voltage as well, not the unloaded voltage. The alarm, so it has an alarm feature that'll beep every 10 seconds. Once the system has used 110 amps of capacity, so it'll get down to 100 amps, and that's when it will start to beep. Just going back, so if you wanted to, we'll go back into the setting, just hold down the OK button. If you wanted to change any of these features, you simply just push OK on the flashing arrow part, and then whichever numerical number you need to change, you just push up or down. And to get back out of the system, just hold back the double arrow button and go back. For those that are wondering, the screen doesn't turn off automatically, so you have to do that manually. When it does charge, obviously it does the flashing bit, but when it's discharging at night, it just stays illuminated like this until you actually manually turn it off. To do that, just hold down the double arrow button for about 3 seconds. It'll slowly dim, so that'll be turned off. You can still see the wording or everything behind, it's just not backlit. To turn it back on, just hold down that for another 3 seconds, and it'll dim back on, and Bob's your uncle. All right, there you have it, guys. Renogy Battery Monitor all installed. Super simple, super easy. Now, in total, it took me about an hour and a half to do the job. Longest part about it was actually running the wire from the monitor down to the shunt. Now, I think this product represents really good value for money. I paid $89.95 delivered to my door from Renogy, ordered on a Sunday and arrived on a Thursday. So yeah, great work there, Renogy. Now, would I recommend it? Yeah, absolutely I would. The user interface is really simple to use. You can program your battery in terms of its capacity. You can do low voltage alarms. So it does everything that I need it to do. especially when you do a lot of free camping. You know, look, if you're parked up at a caravan park, you're obviously not going to get the benefit of this. But you know, when you're out free camping, you're doing a bit of, and you've got some overcast days, and you're not pumping in as much solar as into the system, it's really good to keep an eye on those batteries to make sure you don't discharge them, you know, too deep. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the content. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And until the next time, we'll catch you on the next one.